Hi, really excited to be here today. Where I'm in the corner of this world it's already night. Well, night as in 6 p.m. But nevertheless, I think this is really a cool way to spend your evening. So my name is Florian, and I'm from a company called Datalounges. I'll go over short facts and figures of what we do and how we do it, and how SUSE OpenStack Cloud helped us to overcome specific hurdles, especially in relation to this webinar regarding to financial and cost return topics. So we're a relatively small hosting and OpenStack consulting company based in Finland. Our entire infrastructure is based on SUSE OpenStack Cloud and SUSE Enterprise Storage. So we have nothing else running. We do public and private hosting for a very, very broad customer base. It really affects every business area you could possibly think of. We do OpenStack consulting for medium to large companies. And consulting basically involves anything from designing, building, implementing, and in many, many cases, troubleshooting OpenStack environments that have been deployed without proper guidance up front. Our year-on-year growth has been a staggering 1,000%, give or take. Could be 950, but last year it was a bit over 1,000. We've been debtless and profitable from day one, partly due to the fact that we could offer a very specific niche and stable environment. We own our own hardware. We have a secure tier 2 data center. As I mentioned, our customer base is extremely broad. It includes anything from financial companies to telecoms to even gastronomy. Everything is there, and they all are fairly happy campers. Our cloud environment is software-defined everything. So we went SUSE specifically because it allowed us to have the entire environment running with 2 staff. 2 FTEs are running our entire environment, and that is only when we actually need to do, I would say, maintenance work or upgrades or re-hardware or hardware implementation, as in adding them. I would say an average is about 1 FTE that is really full-time working there, doing things. We went with OpenStack and especially the SUSE implementation because we wanted to have rapid recovery. We want to have a stable environment, and SUSE Linux Enterprise server has a reputation for that. So we went with that approach, and we designed the entire installation to fail. So we can have failure rates of up to 50% and still keep going without really much impact of the customer. At first, and this is where the, in quote, the anecdote telling comes in. At first, we actually thought, hey, let's go the cheap road and do the open source implementation. And yes, we were one of the customers that Forrester interviewed. That went well in terms of, to a certain degree, but when it came to maintaining, upgrading, bug fixing, and reliability, it went very quickly down the proverbial rain drainage. So, we decided that this is not for us. I mean, it took 3 or 4 people to just keep the environment up and running, and troubleshooting was creative at times. So we went with SUSE, and we got a trial. We tested it out. We stress tested it. We made it crash. We plugged the plugs out, and in the end, we figured out that based on calculations, we can actually offset the license cost pretty much from day one by just reducing the FTEs on maintaining the environment. And yes, we also went with commodity hardware. That isn't very commodity. We basically buy very bare metal machines. We don't need the triple redundancy and quadruple power supplies and whatnot. We actually go with very simple compute nodes that can be replaced or, tomorrow or the day after, because we have enough of them. And the cost of that, together with the license cost, actually was cheaper than having a single highly available node. We also went with, I'm bringing this in here because it's technically part of the OpenStack Cloud, with the SUSE Enterprise Storage, purely because it reduced the cost of very expensive SAN disk systems. So we actually have a large disk array made with entirely commodity hardware, and it's performing spectacularly. One of the edges that we got out of this whole, license and cost reduction and performance increases was the fact that we could cost translate this directly into the customers. And of course, customers don't complain when they have to pay less, so to speak. We had some customers that came to us from other cloud providers, and even the standard prices that recorded them were 25% less than what they were paying at the time. So, they were very happy, and once we actually introduced them onto the methodology of OpenStack and how to really use it and implement it to their development cycle, it became very clear to them that they wanted to do it. I'll take a minute to answer one of the questions that came up now. What advantage do you see of using OpenStack and SES together? We can actually have very heavy data availability and safety. So it doesn't matter if 1, 2, or 3 entire storage servers die. The data will be there and it will continue running. So that's the part of SES. And on the OpenStack side, because everything we do is stored on the disk array, moving a machine from one compute node to another if one fails, there's no data on the compute node. It's all stored on the storage side. So we can move it within a second. So the downtime for any kind of node or any kind of machine is minimal. And yes, I know the cloud approach is supposed to be, disposable instances, but we all know that reality bites a bit differently. So we have customers that do have machines that they want their data to be safe. So instead of having multiple approaches, we just have one. We go back to the presentation. The OpenStack Cloud, of course, has also for our customers, had the benefit that they could save costs by having actually very integrated release cycles, not just development, but also release cycles, because they could run multiple instances of the same thing side by side and have a very smooth transition over into the next release that they had. Excuse me. We also wear our own jewelry, and we also test our own stuff in the cloud. We have no other system running. We run everything that we own on top of the SUSE OpenStack Cloud. That is being, mail, DNS, everything runs there. And over the past 3-4 years, we've had not a single customer leave. We've had a satisfaction rate of just about 100%. We also take great pride that, when the customer calls, we answer the phone and we introduce them. And we also actually introduce them to new technologies and new services without, additional costs here and there and new changes back and forward. So they're very pleased, and we actually organize regular sessions with our customers that are interested to see, how they can leverage the new technologies that now became available being it Magnum, being it containers, being it load balancing as a service at the time. It kind of varies, but we always have had a very, very positive response from them. In terms of cost savings, we've reduced our cost dramatically. We're still, translating it all out to our customers. We are still profitable, even though we're competing against Azure, Amazon, and any other cloud hosting provider per se. But together with the stability and the fact that we actually can rely on the support and the maintenance cycle from SUSE, it really pushed us towards, a very, very nice and stable environment, has to be said. There's another question. Why did you choose SUSE OpenStack over another distribution? Good question. So we tested all of them, and this is a SUSE, webinar, so I'm not going to go too much into detail. For us, the main point was that we needed to have rock-solid stability, a good relationship with the vendor, and a good support relationship with the vendor. And SUSE at that point actually provided us that. And we've had experience with SUSE, all of our team members in the past. So it was more or less a natural transition. And, we've been extremely pleased with this relationship. So that kind of nudged us into that direction.